In listening to a few interviews with people on the streets about how they're going to vote, I noticed that a couple of black women in particular have said that the economic issues are at the forefront of their minds. But I'd like to remind, and so I thought about I'd do this really short video to remind people why we have high prices and we have inflation, which of course are starting to dissipate and start to come down. We did not get to high prices and high inflation because the Biden administration wanted to have high prices. We got to high prices and we got to inflation because Donald John Trump took Barack Obama's economy, gave himself and his rich cronies a $1 trillion tax cut. Immediately after they did that, the economy started on a downward slide. That's a fact. Then the pandemic came and the economy all but flatlined. In the same way that Barack Obama took over a flatlined economy from George W. Bush in 2008, it is the same way that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris took over a flatlining economy from Donald John Trump. Having had the worst health crisis in 100 years, in which Donald John Trump refused to acknowledge, said he didn't want to create a panic, refused to acknowledge the seriousness of that epidemic, that pandemic, as a matter of fact. It caused over 1 million lives, many of which would not ordinarily have been lost. Having said that, Biden and Harris took over and have fought and struggled to bring the economy back to the point where every expert have said the American economy is the envy of the world. Literally every expert have said that the American economy is the envy of the world. Are prices where they should be? No. One of the things that Vice President Harris has talked about is going after price gougers. Yes, there are wealthy people out there who are taking advantage of the crisis that we found ourselves in after the pandemic. And that is what Vice President Harris is running on. Donald John Trump, on the other hand, is running to enrich himself and his rich friends like Elon Musk and others. That's all. He's not running to help you. He's running to help himself and his cronies. So when you decide you talk about prices of stuff, in particular for us as people of color who have never had wealth, please understand the facts when you go to vote.